In this video, I'd like to talk about the math question of the day for April 3rd, 2023. And with this problem, we just need to simplify this expression here. And to do so, we just need the tools of PreAlgebra. So grade school math will allow us to solve a problem like this. And at this point, go ahead and pause the video, see if you can work through this on your own. And when you're ready, unpause the video and we can go through this together. Now, assuming that you have attempted the problem, let's start working through it. And if you do have suggestions for future questions of the day, feel free to leave those as comments. Now, to answer a question like this, we have multiplication, subtraction, we have negative numbers, and then we have a fraction, so we're dealing with division. And on the bottom here, this denominator, we again have multiplication, we have parentheses, we have brackets, and a lot of negative numbers. So there is a lot going on here, and there are many places to make mistakes when actually computing this. So we need to use our order of operations, which you might remember as PEMDAS, or if you're in a different country, it might look different than this, but this is typically remembered as "please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." That's one way to remember it. Students will often use that. But the P stands for parentheses. The E stands for exponents. Then we have multiply for M, divide for D, add for A, and subtract for S. Though you can be a little bit less strict than this exact order. And what I mean by that is that we can group multiplication and division together and addition and subtraction together, since those are really the same operations. They just go in opposite directions. So the main idea when using the order of operations is that we need to simplify the expressions in parentheses or brackets as much as possible before moving on to the next steps. And of course, this problem does not have any exponents, so we won't actually be using E here. And often, the parentheses are already fully simplified. So these numbers here are all in parentheses, but we can't simplify them any further. However, this expression right here is in parentheses and can be simplified. So we will start there. Minus 3 minus 3, we're subtracting 3 from negative 3. That is just negative 6. And then we have this expression in brackets, which are essentially just fancy parentheses. We will carry out that operation next. We will do minus 12 divided by negative 6. So let's start by just rewriting this with this simplified. We have 20 multiplied by negative 1 minus negative 4 multiplied by negative 5. All of this is divided by 2 multiplied by minus 12 divided by minus 6 now, since we simplified that. And like I mentioned, we need to carry out the simplification of these brackets first. So we will do minus 12 divided by minus 6, which is equal to 2. So let's rewrite it. We have 20 multiplied by negative 1 minus negative 4 multiplied by negative 5, all divided by 2 multiplied by 2, and I'll just use parentheses instead of brackets since they are equivalent. And if you wanted, you could have simplified the numerator as we went. You can carry out that multiplication. But just to show this more explicitly of carrying out the parentheses first, I just rewrote the top. But now we're on to the step of multiplying and dividing. So anywhere we see multiplication, we can carry that out. And anywhere we see division, we can carry that out. And it can be a little bit tricky because we have this fraction bar, which, remember, means divide. But we need to simplify this numerator before we can carry out the division by this denominator here. So let's just start with multiplication. We do 20 multiplied by negative 1. That is negative 20. Then we have minus. Negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20. And you don't have to put it in parentheses. I just did. It certainly doesn't hurt to add parentheses. in most cases. And then we're dividing by 2 times 2, which we know is 4. And like I mentioned, we need to simplify this numerator before we move on to the denominator. In some sense, it's like when we have a fraction like this, it's like having parentheses around this numerator and parentheses around the denominator. We need to simplify both of these before we can actually simplify the fraction. But we won't write out those parentheses. It is just implied that you need to simplify the top and the bottom before carrying out the division. And at this point, we can do minus 20, which is negative 40. And now we can simplify the fraction. Now we can carry out this division. This simplifies to minus 40 divided by 4, if you want to write it like this. And this will simplify to negative 10. So this right here will be our final answer. Though if you want to check this with a calculator, what you can do is put all of the numerator in parentheses, write it like this, then use the division button, and put all of the denominator in parentheses. And if you write it out explicitly, just as it is, including these parentheses that I added in, then when you calculate that, you will get back negative 10. But I will leave that as an exercise for the viewer.